Well, I figure it's just time to get into this. Give me 1 second here. Here we are. Look, I am not a happy camper. Not a happy camper at all. You know, we kind of got sold a bill of goods with the Florida State win, and it turns out beating them by 3 points just ain't it, right? Let me look over the stats here. Louisville wins 31-19, but look, I yelled it into my phone on the way home today. You just can't give up 14 points. They don't have to trot their offense on the field without getting your ass beat. And like they tried to get us back into that game. Like they really, really did. They more than 10% of our points were literally given to us by Louisville with that safety, right? We didn't score 20, so more than 10% of the points Louisville just handed to you. You get good field position when you come back out, and you just sputter out on offense and can't do anything. Surprisingly, Haynes King threw for 312 yards, 21 of 32, almost 10 yards a pass, 0 touchdowns. I will do Collins another time. I'm not going to be on here that long, but I did want to come in here and talk to you guys because I'm exhausted from watching that game. That game took forever to play. There was 40 TV timeouts in that game, and I don't have the wherewithal for it tonight. I'm sorry. Tyler Shuck or however the hell you say his name, 13 and 19. He didn't even throw a ton, 269 yards, but 2 touchdowns. To me, that's the story of this game is just you could not convert your offensive production that you had to points. I mean, I think 3 times we were inside the 5 or the 10, and we came away with 10 points. You can't leave points on the board like that. We'll go through the chat real quick. Vince Wilkins throwing things in the trash emoji. Colby says, good game in the first half. Don't need to be concerned about Buster being gone anymore. I want to address that too, because some people are out of their minds with what they're saying about this staff. Like, you should be upset with them for sure, but where some people are taking it, like, I don't understand at all. I'm calling in angry. Sorry about not taking calls tonight. Dennis says, D played well for the most part. We beat ourselves coaching in 2 awful mistakes. Yeah, I mean, those 2 mistakes were as bad as they can get. Like the whole RPO thing, throwing, to the other side of the field when you're right at the line of scrimmage in a congested area. Like you cannot do that. You can't do stuff like that on the road with an ACC opponent and expect to win. Like, even if by some miracle we came back after that safety and won that game, I would still feel like, man, I just don't feel like we played well enough to win. D played well for the most part. We bit ourselves. Okay, I already read that. Haynes King backwards pass. Yep. FSU offense still garbage. Yeah, true. Wahoo Brad, if it makes you feel better, Colorado's losing to Baylor. I have that on in the background here. They are. Key also showing he's a budget hire, out-coached all day long. Yeah, we're going to address that. This is BS, says Zach Jones. Too many mistakes by every aspect of the organization. Wow. Under Key, we come out of being a bad team to an okay team. We were all optimistic that the team was on the verge of becoming a good, not great team. We're still just an okay team. Oh, man, I don't know if I can sort that out. Georgia Tech beat themselves. I'm sorry. Let's tell it like it is. This is 100% on Buster and Key. I don't full blame the defense. They stopped Louisville and they needed to. Appreciate the $10. Matt says, last dono of the day, bright side, our defense held Louisville to less than 20 points. That's true. I'm not going to lie. The refs helped and hurt. They sucked on both sides. The consistent bad run plays hurt and bad 4th and 1s. True. Duke must have better players than us. What the hell? That's not true. But, yeah. Best highlight of the day was JMU dropping 70 on Jeff Collins. And screw Georgia Tech for – I can't even enjoy that to the fullest now. Like, I was listening to Inside Carolina They did the interview with Collins that I reacted to, and I'm not lying. I might have this not 100% accurate. They were saying there were rumors that either Mac Brown tried to retire after this 70 to 50 blowout at home, or that they were urging him to retire, and then later, once they kind of cleared their minds, said no. I mean, that's one of the worst loss. That's probably the worst loss in program history for them. Not by point margin or anything, but just, they've never given up that many points in a half. I mean, they dropped 52 or 53 on them in a half, and I can't even enjoy that. Oh, me. Coach Key's seat is pretty hot. You're out of your mind, dude. You're out of your mind. Let's just go ahead and address that now. Coach Keats C is pretty hot. That is complete insanity to say. Like, okay, you don't fire a coach over one game. You don't. Yes, the last 2 games we haven't played well. But all of this Coach Key needs to be fired stuff is complete insanity. Okay, you're going to fire Key, and then what are you going to do? And then what? You're going to tank another recruiting class, right? You're going to lose a ton of recruits out of this class. We're already in tight battles with people flipping to other places. Like, he's in his second year, right? Like, let's just pump the brakes on Brent Key needs to be fired. I don't get that at all. Yeah, we can be upset with Ken, like we've been out coached, we weren't well prepared, but we're way, way, way far away from even thinking about Brent Key needs to be fired. I mean, where is that coming from? Needed power on 4th and short, agree. Defense only gave up 17. Oops, we just stopped running the ball up the middle once again. I think you meant we ran the ball at the middle once again. Hearing don't jump off the ship about coaching, but then the play calling was terrible. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like you're going to fire Brent Key and then what? And then what? I mean, I tell you what, let's get in the same rotation that Tennessee and Florida and Miami were in forever of firing a coach. You're going to fire a coach in his second year? You're going to fire a coach in his second year. You're out of your mind, dude. You're absolutely out of your mind. King is on fire, and when the game is on the line, Buster runs it 3 times up the middle with 3 minutes left. Now, I will say this. Yeah, I don't know what's going on that we can't run the ball. We can't run the ball up the middle. We can't really run the ball at all. So, again, like I said in the video, we've definitely regressed offensively. The critical moments, the backward pass, the blocked field goal for a touchdown, the illegal formation leading to a missed field goal. Yeah, 100%. People are so quick to forget. Yeah, I mean, you're ready to crown this guy and build statues for him last year. He has 2 bad games this year. Well, hell, after the Florida State game, y'all ready to crown him. Tanner Lewis says, good game, Tech fans. This Louisville fan was stressed. Penalties drove me nuts. Buster needs to stop being so conservative. We do need to just open up the playbook. Like, there's nothing to hide now. Like, this team's going to struggle to make a bowl. Like, we're about to enter the brutal part of our schedule. Brent Key doesn't need to be fired at all, just needs to work on his game management. We have very young coaching staff, maybe expecting more than is available. Hopefully the off week can call it right. You're not saying he needs to be fired? Well, let me go look at your previous comments here. I mean, what do you want then? What do you want? I guess KS said his seat's on fire. Like, dude, Coach Key is not on the hot seat. Like, go on somewhere with that. Yeah, so we do need to, like, we're an inconsistent team. Here's the thing, when like half your playbook is unavailable to you, which is the run portion, like that's not going to work. That's not going to work for anybody. And when half of your defensive playbook is just money for the offense, that's not going to work for you either. The biggest thing for this team, if there's one thing I could instantly fix right now, it would be pass rush, though. It would be pass rush. I was high on Syracuse. Stanford comes out, is in Kyle McCord's face all day, and they end up winning. He might not be on the hot seat, but he better start coaching like his ass is on fire. Well, yeah, you got to improve for sure. I'm tired of people blaming the games entirely on one person like Haynes or Brent Key or Buster. It's a team game. Yeah, I mean, let's go back. Let me finish going through the stats. So we actually did end up finishing with 998 yards rushing on 37 carries. Still 2.6 yards a carry is not good. Haynes King had 14 carries for 58 yards. He was our leading rusher. And if things don't change, Haynes King is going to finish the year our leading rusher. Maybe I jumped the gun with whoever that was. But if you go look on the Facebook groups right now, they're calling for Brent Key's head. And those people, I don't know what to tell them. Secondary needs to be addressed. Got burned in the Syracuse and again today. Couple of PIs in bad positioning, deep calls. Coaching needs to do a better job in clock management. Well, we figured out when we play a ton of zone, it's because we can't cover on the outside one-on-one. Tech calling for wins a year is 8 or 9 at full potential. Tech is never going to be an ACC contender. Well, pump the brakes, dude. Never, if you didn't know, is a very long time. The school doesn't put enough money, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I don't think Tech's ceiling this year is 8 or 9 wins, by the way. It's lower than that. And by the way, I wouldn't come in here talking about a team in Kentucky if I was Georgia. Louisville couldn't run the ball to save their lives. It was even worse than Tech. They had 57 yards rushing all game, 27 carries. I mean, if I look at the team stats, Tech was 4 for 15 on third down. But in truth, Louisville wasn't much better. Second 2 for 9 on third down. Fourth down, we got 3 out of 5. They were 1 for 1. We had 312 yards passing to their 269 and 98 to their 57 in rushing. Time of possession almost ended up being equal. We had 7 penalties for 69 yards. They had 6 for... Hell, we outgained them in this game. So we had, 400-something yards of offense, and they had a little over 300. That goes to show you that you can't give up 14 points without their offense. Our run defense has been very good, but again, you just can't let a guy sit in the pocket all day and get downfield on you and completing passes. 7 and 5 is doable. Trust Key and get right, boys. I'm not even saying trust Key. I'm just saying, burn them from the stake stuff. Maybe I did myself a disservice looking on the Facebook groups today because those guys are out of their minds. So you're gonna go into a bye week. And by the way, I don't know what happened with Christian Leary. I guess because I couldn't listen to the game that he's no longer on the team. So I don't know what happened with that. I guess that's why Bailey Stockton was returning kicks. So, and that's the other thing, we block a field goal. All of these momentum turning moments, that's a big thing. We're not able to take advantage of. We block a kick, we're struggling in the red zone, we can't run. They get a safety, and you don't really capitalize on any of that. I'm not defending Key. But, we're pretty early on in his coaching career. Turnovers, we had one fumble lost. I'm trying to remember where that was. The only thing I've heard about Leary is he's no longer with the team due to personal reasons. Key said Leary is leaving for personal issues. So who knows what that's about. You know, I mean, that's probably all you're ever going to know. But anyways, Malik Rutherford looked good today. Leary got beat out by the 2 deep and took his ball and went home. Well, good for him. Georgia Tech is getting everyone's best shot, especially after beating the Noles. Everyone is putting their Fran Brown chip. Well, look, dude, you can't keep saying, oh, everyone's playing the game of their lives. And I guess if you're Tech, you can't just let everyone play the best game they got. He played his 4 games. He's going to redshirt and transfer. Oh, batted pass was the fumble. Okay. I don't know if we're close to being a good team. Like, again, there's pivotal pieces you need on a team to really get to the next level. And that's really starts with a pass rush. I mean, it really starts with a pass rush. And it's been I mean, how many sacks do we have on the year? Like 3, maybe. Leo Blackburn is MIA. Well, I think from what I saw in the Syracuse game, like he couldn't get lined up in the right spot. So maybe he doesn't know the playbook. Maybe he doesn't know where he's supposed to go. Maybe that's, why he's not on the field as much. But yeah. The other thing, and this is 100% coaching, and here's where I will criticize Key, because you cannot keep allowing this to happen where we can't get the play in. Like, you have helmet communications now. We've now had 3 different instances of the exact same thing. One in the Florida State game where the play clock is running down, and then we snap the ball and Haynes King isn't ready for it. Then we had it in the Syracuse game. Again, we can't get the play in. Haynes King is looking over to the sideline. We all have our thumbs up our asses. We snap the ball for a fumble. And then again in this game, play clock's running down to 3 seconds. We snap the ball. Haynes King isn't looking. That is 100% coaching, and that's got to stop now. I mean, I don't understand us not being able to get the play in. I also don't understand, we have some special team snafu with block kicks. Aiden Beer has missed way too many kicks. Like, I get that he's got a killer leg. Doesn't matter if you can kick a 70-yard field goal if you can't knock it through the uprights at 40-something yards. People saying Haynes isn't the guy. Me and you must be watching 2 different games. If anyone looks at that game and says the problem was the quarterback, then I don't know what to tell them either. The problem is we can't run the ball. Yeah, if King was throwing a pick a game or, 2 picks or 3 picks in a game, then you'd say that. I mean, you got to even start addressing things, you have to correctly address what your issues are, which is not the quarterback position. It's that we can't run block, or our running backs aren't able to get to the right spot with the football in their hands. Any team is going to struggle if they can't run the football, for the most part. Line can't pass nor run block now. They can pass block. The strength of our offense is throwing the ball. When we look to throw the ball downfield, we actually do pretty well. We hit some big throws in that game. How can you say we can't pass block? We haven't given up a sack all year. Unless Haynes got sacked in this game, which I don't think he did. Let me look in the box score. Yeah, Haynes King hasn't been sacked all year. So, I don't know, maybe Mojo can enlighten me. I don't really understand how you can be basically elite in pass blocking, not give up a sack through 5 games, but we can't run the football, or we can't run block, or whatever it is. Man, he really hasn't been under pressure that much. Bird kicks seem to not be lined up. They don't curve or anything. Yeah, he misses right. He needs to veto Faulkner's calls. Well, I think you got to sit down with your staff today and say, look, what we are doing is not working. What is in front of us that isn't working that it's realistic for us to address? As far as the pass rush, unfortunately, I don't know that that's something you can just 100% scheme up. Pass blocking was not good in the fourth once the O-line got gas. Haynes was pressured. Well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you with that either. Like, they haven't given up a sack. Yeah, he had time to throw today, though. The problem is not pass block. I don't know what to tell you guys. The problem is not pass blocking, though. The problem is 1,000% not pass blocking. He probably did veto some calls and told him to run the ball. Run the ball. Yeah, that is true too. We haven't run too many conventional screens, I guess, or like running back screens. But yeah, I don't know what it is that we can't run between the tackles, man. Well, man, if the expectation is that a quarterback never has any pressure in any game he plays, then like you got to question if your expectations, how realistic they are. I'm sorry, that's not the problem with the team. I think it's possible King may be the issue because he may not be 100% as affecting his decision makings. He's thrown one pick. He threw for 312 today. And he ran for basically 60 yards. Well, I mean, what else do you want the guy to do? If it's not King, it's the rest of the offense. I mean, some of you guys, man, I just don't know. The problem is the pass rush, guys. The problem is the pass rush and pass defense, and we can't run. That's the problem. It's not Haynes King. It's not pass blocking. It's even questionable game management at times. You know, we blew 2 timeouts in the second half. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed your super chat. $5 super chat from Josh Pittman says, sorry I'm late, been streaming. Fears of Fathom. Creativity, execution, and consistency is the biggest issue on the team, coaching, and the players. Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, our best win is Georgia State. So you got to go in this bye week. This is what I was saying. You got to sit down with the coaches, address what can be fixed, and get on it. You cannot tell me that we can't run the football. If you cannot tell me that Stanford can recruit better players that can get after the quarterback that we already played, same offensive line, and we can't. You know, like Romello Height came in, he's supposed to be all world. Does he have a sack this year? Let me look. He was our second leading tackler. He had 3 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss. 0 sacks. 0 sacks. Yeah, we're committing dumb penalties. Like, this is what... I'll tell you the dumbest comment I did see today. Someone said that Brent Key is Jeff Collins 2.0. If you really believe that, go root for another team, because that's brain dead type stuff. If you really think that Brent Key is Jeff Collins 2.0, they've done it for the past 15 or 20 years. Let's go look where Stanford's recruiting right now. Where are they recruiting right now? Control F, Stanford. They're 31. I don't know what they were last year, but the point is, you can't tell me that Stanford can get better players than Tech. I mean, I'm not buying that. Or if that's the case, just go join the group of Georgia Tech fans that say, oh, we just need to run the triple option, or we just need to concede that we can't recruit. Again, all these people that are calling for Key's head, like, he signed the first 5-star in program history. Maybe give him some time to get some recruiting classes in. He's not elite at the moment. If it wasn't for dumb penalties, Louisville would win by more. Sure, so many, whatever. Dante Smith graduated last year? Yes. Yes, he did. I mean, you got to give these guys some time, man. So, from here on out, like, I'm out of the prediction business. Like, Tech is going to have to come out and prove to me that they can play better than what they did today. All right, go root for them then. Like, I'm just not gonna. I mean, that's the other thing. Like, can we have somewhat, reasonable expectations? Because the expectation of the Tech fan base is either, oh, we just have to concede to running the triple option, or, fire the guy at the drop of a pen. Yeah, if we can just win some football games, that would be great. And like I said in the video, like, it's not like, dude, I can handle getting beat. Like, every team is going to lose. Probably most teams are going to lose 3 or more games in a season. It's just the way that you lost that thing. It's that you were never really in it. You kind of took yourself out of it from the beginning. And yeah, that is the one criticism of Haynes King in this game. You cannot make mistakes as quarterback that turns into points for the other team. And that was just a boneheaded RPO play. And when we're criticizing the play calling and saying, we need to get more creative, I'm not talking about gadgetry and pageantry, like, double reverse and stuff. Just try to get the ball to the perimeter some more, especially in the run game. If our offense relies on the quarterback being able to keep the ball, and he's not confident in doing that, you might consider giving Pyron some playing time. Yeah, I'm not opposed to Pyron playing more. Got to beat Miami to do their name. Not the way we played today. Feels like they don't trust Haynes King as much. That is I think that's a fair point, man. The biggest criticism I would have of the staff is that we seem to kind of play call scared, and it's like we're kind of playing not to make mistakes. And that is one thing that has to change. Like, you got to go out there and make plays. We're playing not to make mistakes, and we're making a ton of them. So, again, you can't have a block punt for a touchdown and whatever the RPO was. I mean, you cannot do stuff like that. I mean, that's 2 games now. We never led in that game one time. Not once. We were playing behind the 8 ball the entire time. And this is the other thing that's frustrating. And I'm not just going to buy into, people weren't showing their playbook. When a group of 5 quarterback runs for 101 yards on them, and we can't, and really ran the ball well on them, period. We were up 7-0. Were we? I don't know about that. Maybe we were. Okay, we did in the beginning. All right, so we led for the first, right after the first drive, and then that was it. But then here's the other thing: is we quickly got down 2 scores, though. We quickly got down 2 scores. Yep, there you go. 17 unanswered points. You can't keep digging yourself into these massive holes, and then you kind of have to play with this handicap that you've imposed on yourself. Like, I mean. It's just not going to work. Not going to work. And 6 penalties is way too many. And like, every penalty is not the same, right? The problem in that game is that we'd make a good play, and then we'd make a mistake with a penalty right after that put us right behind the 8 ball. Yeah. Going for it on 4th closer to the 50, then refusing to do it inside the 10 was cowardice by a former O lineman. I don't like, the whole timeout to kick a field goal, miss it, and then not go for it inside the 10. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand not being able to when you're in 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2 and you can't convert that. We just left too many points on the field. We just, it looks like we had 410 yards of offense to their 326. We had 18 first downs to their 14. Yeah, obviously a massive part of that, the majority of it is giving up 14 points without their offense being on the field. The other part of that is that our offense was just not efficient. I mean, you're only putting up 19 points, man, for where this offense has been. Like, that ain't going to cut it. Do you have the impression that our O-line regressed? It appears that way. I don't know what else to call it. I mean, it's weird because we can pass block, but we can't run block. So there's a regression somewhere that's leading to oh, me. Every opportunity we've gotten has been thrown away immediately. Barstool, Georgia Tech. I see what you sent me. Oh, me. Oh, I got a ton of notifications on Twitter I'm seeing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. It's hard being a Tech fan, man. That's all I know. Yeah, it is weird. You've regressed, but you have essentially the same group on offense. You need to watch how much time Haynes has to throw. It's not much. I mean, how much time do you think a quarterback in Division I needs to have to be comfortable? Because I bet you it's shorter than what you think. I mean, are you saying he needs 5 full seconds in the pocket? Yeah, 7 wins is a miracle. Again, we're going to struggle to make a bowl. King still has 5 times more than Sims ever did. Well, Sims was doomed to fail from the start. Yeah, this is a good comment. I don't understand our line on either side of the ball. Our O-line can pass block, but no run block. Our defense has solid run D, but no pass rush. Yeah, we're like the most schizophrenic team in football right now. Just my opinion, our line isn't what it was at the end of last year. That's not just an opinion, though. That's a fact. I mean, that's just a fact, and it is crazy that it's essentially the same O-line. That dude is the realest fan on YouTube. I don't even know who Phil Fort 13 is. Hard to run, not under center. Well, literally every team in the country does that, except for maybe like 10 and of 130 teams. Did Jamal Haynes? I think Haynes has been 75% for most of this year. We're way banged up at running back. Cooley's still out, but it's not. I don't know how much of a difference it makes because we put different backs in, we get the same result. I actually said that today. Like, do whatever. Like, put Ethan McKinney in or something, or start rolling the shit out of some people at practice. Whatever you need to do. But anyways, look, I've kind of said all I needed to say. I basically wanted to come in here because I had to leave right after the game in Sea-Dog's live stream. And I didn't want people to get the impression I was like running away after a loss. It's just I had to go pick my kid up and I was already late to do that. And I didn't know the game was going to take, 4 hours. Jamal Haynes only has 70 yards in his 30 carries. It's getting embarrassing. He's not even on 100 yards for the year. Yeah, like I said, Haynes King is going to end up being our leading rusher for the season if we don't get some things turned around. Well, but anyways, hashtag free King. To be fair, every team stacks the box and is making us pass. Well, then you need to pass more. Like, you have to be able to adapt to what a defense is giving you. So if they're just going to put 8 or something crazy like 8 in the box and just put 3 defensive backs back, then you've got to throw the ball. Like, you have to adapt to what the team's showing you. This is the biggest thing with the play calling, is it does seem like we just bash our heads against the wall with whatever the original game plan was, and we're not really looking to change that. Or if we do, it's some weird like double reverse or something. I know one thing, speaking to Jackson here, we better beat the absolute piss out of North Carolina this year. We better beat the absolute soul out of North Carolina this year. So anyways, well, all right, guys, that's going to be it for me. I appreciate all y'all coming on. Like I said, I want to come in here so people didn't think I was dodging. We'll read a few more texts. Take what the defense gives you. Stop forcing them to run 4 times in a row, 70-50. Yeah, as C-Dog said in his video, it could always be worse. Jeff Collins could be your coach. Y'all have a good one.